And do you think the Jurgen Klopp news, Jamie, which he said was really going to be impossible to keep secret, do the early signs look like that might have had a galvanising effect?
Well, Liverpool were in great form just before the announcement, if you like. I think for a long part of this season we've been saying Liverpool are getting great results without really being fully convincing that they could go on and win the title. I think that's changed in the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks. So Liverpool were in great form. The announcement comes out. The performance against Chelsea was probably as good as we've seen this season from Liverpool. But Liverpool have got a lot of big tests on the road, I would say, coming in the second half of the season. Here today, going to Goodison, which is a really big game for Liverpool, going to Manchester United. Those two teams are not in great form this season, but they're tough games for Liverpool. So there's a lot of obstacles on the way. So I don't think there's any game you can go into and think we can just take a draw there and accept that because, as I said, City are so strong. But I think there will be a feeling from the supporters and the players they want to send off this manager with at least 1 or 2 trophies and have a really good sort of end to the season.
Do you think that would be the impact on the dressing room, Gail? That sort of collective will to send Jurgen Klopp out on a high?
I think so, because the news is not about the manager leaving because the dressing room, is against him. It's not the case. It's a manager that came, if I can say, changed the club, brought success to the club, and I'm pretty sure all the player loves him. So the end of the story will always be the player trying to give their best to the manager. It's not so much a case of he lost the dressing room and we need a change. So I think it can only be a positive aspect for the Liverpool fan, for the club. And like Jamie said, I think those players, will want to deliver silverware for this manager.
Do you think what happens, and there's still 4 trophies to play for, has any impact on how we will reflect on Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool?
Well, obviously, I think he'd certainly want to leave on a high. I think, obviously, they're in a few competitions, but the Premier League would be the one they'd want to win, I'm sure, because of the fact, even when they won it a few years ago, it was through COVID, and they probably didn't get a chance to enjoy it as much. But his legacy is obviously amazing. It's fantastic. There's been a lot said over the last week or two. We've all agreed he's been amazing for the Premier League. He's a great character. His win percentage, they've won trophies. Style of football, always wanting to win games. He's got a obviously very attack-minded coach. But I think if he could leave with 1 or 2 trophies on top of what he's already done with Liverpool, it would be icing on the cake. But his legacy is obviously there to forever.
I'd quite like to see him finish with the title.
No, not necessarily. No, it doesn't worry me too much. Obviously, United are well out of it. But listen, if they win the title, then they would have deserved it. I'd never begrudge a team who win the league, because obviously we know how hard it is. Jamie spoke about the hurdles they've got coming up, and that's the challenge they face. So I certainly wouldn't begrudge them a league title if they manage to get enough points.